1 break. So he's expecting that 2-2, a fastball, and he gets a split finger. Now he's 1-0, split finger. Okay, you take it. All right, now you're 1-1, and you're going, all right, wow, he keeps coming at it. He's not giving up. It's not just the fastball. He's trusting the splitter and getting the swing and miss. That's why you get the stare down. You're like, really? I just saw that many splitters in a row. Didn't get a fastball. Listen, getting ahead and then going to the split. Not only is it out of the zone, but it's also in the zone, even if you take it. I mean, it is just truly incredible, as you can see, just the movement off this pitch. Fastball still has it, getting ahead. I mean, they said he had 9 0-2 counts today. Getting ahead of these hitters and then having something like that to put him away. Truly incredible.
I'm going to name drop a little bit. Last week I was with a couple former football players, Plaxico Burress and Todd Gurley, okay? We're talking sports, all sports. All the football players are talking about there is no way in the world you can hit a baseball. I don't know how you guys do it. They all said hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do. What we just saw with Roki, every athlete is saying, how in the world are you hitting this? Guess what? Major League Baseball players aren't hitting that when it's that elite. And Nomar, you broke it down. It's coming out of the same slot. So as a hitter at home, why are they chasing that out of the zone? Because it looks like a fastball. At the last second, you only got bam, bam to make a decision. And that's why you get guys to chase. And that's why we were so adamant about Roki Sasaki early in the season. Bro, do you know how nasty you are? Don't fool around. Don't get behind the count. Don't get 2-0, 3-1, because then you become more predictable and guys can sit on fastball. Now when you're 0-2, 1-2, you're really at Roki's mercy, and that's what we're seeing the last 3 or 4 starts. It is so fun to see Roki Sasaki really developing, dare I say, into that young ace we know he could be.
And his calling card coming up was kind of that forkball because of the uniqueness of it. Didn't really have a whole lot of spin, but that pitch right there where they can't recognize, they could recognize the no spin on that forkball, but they can't tell with that new splitter he's throwing.
And that's why you have teammates. Remember a couple years ago, Yamamoto had a hard time with the curveball. He talked to Clayton Kershaw about how he grips his curveball. Boom, Yamamoto implemented, now he's got a nasty curveball. I wonder, I don't know this for a fact, and we're gonna find out tomorrow. I wonder if Yamamoto or Shohei Ohtani may have told Roki, hey, you know what, how about you abandon that forkball? Why don't you use the split? Just like Yamamoto does a lot. That fastball and the split look identical. Now he's got that split, and that's why you're seeing so many guys chase that split out of the zone.
ERA over 7 in April. Look at what he's done his last 6 starts since the beginning of May, going 2-1. The ERA right around 2.5, a sub-1 whip, 38 strikeouts to only 8 walks. He's been a completely different guy, and he had another message sent tonight, an outstanding performance by Roki. Let's hear from him speaking with the media.
Roki, tonight you had 10 strikeouts, new career high. When you look at just the performance that you're having right now on the mound, is this a culmination of all the work you've put in recently just to get to this point?
今こう10三振で初めての届けたんですけれども、今できているこの結果というのは今まで取り組んできたことすべてがうまく噛み合ってできたような結果ですか。
そうですね。オフから続けてきたことを、その後のシーズン中の試行錯誤も含めて、こう徐々に、結果として現れてきているかなと思います。
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of things from the off season and also making adjustments in season 2. So I feel like everything kind of come together right now.
This was your second time seeing them in essentially a month. What did you take from your last outing that helped you with this one tonight?
今回2回目のレンジャーズの対戦になると思うんですけど、何かその前回から得たというか、気にしてよかった点というのを。
そうですね。前回の試合で投げたなんていうんですか、配球だったりそういうところも、加味して今日の試合に臨んだので、ここビルも、ピッチングコーチもこううまくリードしてもらえたかなと思ってます。
Yeah, last game against Angels, I pretty did a good job and I learned from the sequencing, so I pretty much use the same sequence today and stick to it.
You said last week that you're finally able to pitch like you again. What does that look like? What does that open up for your confidence going forward?
前回でその自分らしい投球ができたというようなことがあったと思うんですけど、何かそのきっかけというか、それが広がったような要因はあるんでしょうか。
本当に積み重ねてきたことと、あとは最後少し合わせてるいろいろな試行錯誤をした上でこう、なんていうんですかね、ちょっと こう微調整しただけなので、基本的にやってることは変わらないですし、ただこう、思ったところに、思ったボールが行くようになった分、こうある程度自分のペースに投げたりだとか、こう配球っていうのもどんどんこうリズムよくなってくるのかなと思います。
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually building up same thing. I'm making small adjustment all the time. I think that because of that, everything kind of put together, and then so and also when I do that, I find a good rhythm out there, so that kind of keep me going.
This is the guy that we saw in video in Japan, and that we hope to get. And I think that we're all guilty of expecting it to be seamless, and certainly unfair to Roki, and not appreciating that there has to be some transition period. And he's went through some tough times and some doubts, but he's gotten to the other side, and a lot of support in the clubhouse. And I think he's feeling that. He's put in a lot of work himself. He's a lot more physical. The stuff is really playing well. We talk about that split. And the split now, ironically, is kind of to the velocity that it used to be in Japan. And so there is an adjustment with the ball that he had to make with his grip with the split. But now it's 90, 91. And I mean, it's just, and you can see his demeanor on the mound, just real confidence. And it's good to see him get through 7 innings tonight the way he did.
Is there an example of how you're now seeing it hit a consistent pace and just he's building with each outing, not only getting better, but you're just seeing a consistency?
Yes, yeah. Every time, I think, certainly now, I think we can all agree that the floor for Roki is much higher, and the expectation every time he takes the ball is high, and he's earned that. And I think if you look at the last 6 or 7 starts, it's been as good as any starter in the big leagues in the consistency of performance. So really proud of him. And I know that he wants for more, and the floor has just been raised. Now it's just continue to raise that ceiling.
What part of him now stands out to you most about like what you saw in videos? It's really how he went about guys, is it the stuff and velocity? What sort of stands out the most watching it now?
Just the mound presence. I think if you look at the stuff, the results now, striking out high 20%, walking, 5 to 6%. That's what he did in Japan. And now you're talking about major league hitters. So the performance now mirrors that. And then just the way he's carrying himself, there's just no more doubt and uncertainty. I think that, you can tell a pitcher, and hitters can sniff it out when a pitcher is not confident.
In the 7th, when you send Roki back out there, sometimes pitchers can, in a tight game, get too fine or too cute. The way that he responded, he just seemed to attack another level. How much do you enjoy that response to the challenge, and how he was his overall mound presence and demeanor?
It was a challenge. It was something that we've talked about how, when you want to give him more leash, and in a 0-0.
いかがだったでしょうか。よろしければ高評価、チャンネル登録をお願いします。ご覧いただきありがとうございます。
And to your point, yes, he did. He was on the attack. He didn't run from the 7th, and that shows a lot of growth. Like I said, I'm just really happy for him.